Hey folks, Papa Boris here, playing some more Slice and Dice. Today we're going to be doing Spiky Monsters. This is a good curse. I've said before that there's no free lunch on hard. Anything you play on hard is going to be, well, hard. But as far as curses go, while there are no easy ones, this I think is one of the better ones. Basically, you just take a damage every time you hit a monster. And what this means is that you have to just keep it in mind as you're making choices for what classes to take when you level up and what strategies to pursue. But as long as you keep it in mind, what's good about this curse is not the fact that it is insignificant. I mean, getting a damage every time you hit a monster is really significant. It is a lot of HP lost, and that is a big deal. But the way I think about it with Slice and Dice, you don't just want to ask yourself how hard is this curse, you also have to ask yourself how hard is this curse to play around. And the thing about Spiky Monsters is there's like a bajillion ways to play around it. You can do range damage, you can shield, you can heal, you can do high damage single attacks to limit how often you're getting the spiky stuff. You can go for a spell-based strategy. So there's just a lot that you can do to play around it, so chances are something will come up that will enable you to get out of dodge without too many consequences. All right, so here the alloy's being threatened by this goblin, so if I could kill that goblin, that would be really great. The initiate has other good sides, so I'll roll again, and I'll just roll again. It's not a huge deal if I roll a blank or that, that's fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here is whack this goblin. Oh, and we can actually burst twice and end the fight right now. Okay, didn't need the alloy, but that was there if we needed it. I'm not gonna take any chances here. I think this is generally a good thing to do. There are some good tier 1 items, and tier 1 curses aren't a big deal, but let's just play it safe. And we got this. So this is a tough choice, unfortunately, because the whirl is bad with this curse. You're taking multiple instances of spiky damage. You absolutely don't want to whirl, but the Myco is just a weird hero. It's got these decay sides that go down every time you use them, and it's got this weird thing. So you can give somebody +1 to their sides once per turn for a single mana, but then that side decays after use. I could take a random here, but I think we'll just try the Myco and call it a day. It's not something I'm excited about, but I absolutely could not take the whirl, and I want to have choices on future level ups. So here the Hoarder gets the exhaust side. I don't think I want that. I could keep that, but the Myco sides are mostly safe, so I think we'll just roll. All right. Do I do a damage, take a damage? Fine. This is a little bit of a weak skill because you do take spiky damage from it. And we'll exert the Hoarder. It's kind of annoying, but fine. So what I'm gonna do here, I think, is check for overlap. There's actually no overlap. Orange, yellow, gray, blue, red. So there's no overlap. So pumping this with Spore doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense. But let me take a look. Can I actually kill this wolf that's just racking my healer? I can. So fine, I will. And then we are gonna, I guess, start on this rat. That's the wolf. Hold on. Start on the rat. There we go. So now we just need 1 more damage on the rat, and then we can work this wolf down and we'll be okay. This is a little bit of a dangerous situation. 3 mana is the best side. That heals him for 2. We'll keep a mana so we can burst, and then hopefully the thief gets this. This is the best side. Range damage completely bypasses the curse. What does men do? Set a hero to 5? Interesting. Can I just do that? So it's 2 mana to save him. I could also just burst to save him. I could also Spore this. I don't know if that's really worth it, but you know what? I shouldn't have put this rat to 1. I should have left it at 2 because I ended up wasting a damage here. I don't need to actually burst right now, so I'm gonna hold on to that mana. This should be fine. So now we just need 6 damage, and the wolves don't usually hit very hard. The single target hit could have been a problem. So that's 2, 4, yeah, we're good to go. Check the Hoarder is gonna go down to 1 HP because of the spiky, but we're fine. All right, extra fight for a square wheel. There are some curses where this actually makes sense, but right now I think it would be stupid and it's not that good of an item. We got the wand. This actually got nerfed in the patch. It used to be the middle side, now it's the left side. Well, it's not a nerf per se. The left side's usually better than the middle side, but it being on the left side lets you use it later with some heroes that have a bad left side, just to replace it and have the hero be useful. Growth to the rightmost side, that has some synergy. So I'm gonna take the Autumn Leaf. It actually works really great with this side of the alloy. Every time that cantrip fires, it gets bigger. And then there are synergies later on where there's some heroes with really interesting rightmost sides to have growth on. So it's a tier 1 item that, you know, is not like mind-bogglingly powerful, but does definitely add some value. Okay, I could use this copycat shield side and copy growth to give the hero 1 shield and then have this be bigger later. The issue is that's still not saving the thief, so I have to consider what? Can I do 7 damage to the boar? 2, 4, 5? Not quite. So I am gonna keep rolling, I think, on that alloy. But the healer, yeah, only has 2 mana sides, so we will keep the 1 mana. But I'm not gonna do the 1 damage growth on the Myco. This is good, that's good. That's some protection. Let's take a quick look at what's exactly happening here. So if we whack, whack, it's ugly, but we can actually burst this boar down, and that's acceptable. So now we just have these 2 dinkies, and we should be fine. There's 1 orange hero at tier 2, and there's 1 orange hero at tier 3 that have all range damage. And so that is what I am fishing for. I want to make sure I get those if possible. We learned that you cannot absolutely force a hero, but I will certainly try. All right, so we have the Scrapper. Scrapper has some good points in this particular situation because they can do single damage high hits. Armorer, of course, is a pet of mine, and the Armorer, the nice thing about it is it goes really well with the Ranger. And it also goes well with anybody because it can increase the size of their attack, so it's better than doing a damage because it adds a damage to a die you're already using. Yeah, we'll take the Armorer. It's, man, it's a tough call because the Scrapper could let me big burst down this alpha better than the Armorer does, but I think the Armorer is better later on. So we're gonna do this, and now this grows. It'll become a boost too if I get to use it multiple times in the same fight. All right, Alpha does not roll the Summon Wolf, and does not roll the Big Chomp. We do get our best side there, which is amazing. This is a die if you use it thing. All right, so this is good. Those are both fine. And I have to think about using this, because the Thief is gonna whack and get hurt. So the 1 shield isn't gonna save it, but I could save it with this mana. Yeah, all right, we'll keep that. So we're going to what? Oh, maybe the move is we kill the wolf. Hold on, what am I doing? I need to do this first. We kill the wolf like this. Nope, that's backwards. This is the guilt side. If you kill someone with it, then you end up dying. So we spore this. We kill the wolf in 2 hits, and that, oh God, I did it backwards again. We kill the wolf in 2 hits, and then the thief is fine, and then we just shield somebody. It's a little weak. I probably should have just re-rolled that shield since I actually had it handled without that. All right, there's the alpha getting another wolf. So we're gonna try to hit it as hard as we can. We got this again on the first try. And I do wanna try to get mana from the healer to punch this thing as hard as possible. So we're gonna go wickety, whackety, and I guess that's it. And now we have a wolf. So we're back to the beginning of the fight. I'm not too damaged. The alpha's lost 5 out of 13 HP. We're getting another wolf here. If I could do 8 here, that would be amazing. This is 5, 7. Yep, we actually get there. Even before the thief. And sure, I'll keep a heal. So wickety, whackety. Sure, fine. We'll spore. Oh, there's actually no penalty because this is a single-use side, so there's no penalty. That spore was basically just like a ping, but worse. But the worstness of it doesn't matter in this particular case. And then, okay, we made it out of the fight. Oh God, this early fight is just brutal. All right, the wolf is dead, and off we go to fight 5. I like both of these items. This is a tough one. So the Clumsy Hammer has the top side, 5 damage heavy eliminate, which means that you can only use it if all of the enemies have exactly the same HP, but it is 5 damage, which is a lot of damage. This I like as well. Heal 1 cleanse for a single mana just lets you surgically pinpoint a particular hero that's in need of cleansing. Maybe they take a poison, maybe they have like the inflict death or inflict single use. There are some like inflict exert. There are a bunch of maladies that only a single cleanse is needed to cure. And of course you can reduce their weaken and poison by 1. It's only usable once per fight, but it's 1 mana, and it's just a good little role player of a spell. However, I think I'm gonna grab this clumsy hammer because that is just, it's a lot. 5 damage is pretty incredible, and I guess we'll replace the blank side on the thief. It's something that, you know, you really kind of want to optimize and think about between fights. Is this would have a fight where I could do it, but I'm just gonna be lazy and stick it on the character that had a blank anyways, so it doesn't matter because I wasn't actually losing anything even if I rolled it and it was unusable. That would have otherwise been a blank. This is a pretty incredible start here. So we get to just whack this quartz and kill it in 1 hit, and then we whack the Slimer, and then everyone's fine. So we'll just pass here, and it shouldn't be too difficult to do 6 damage. The thief is down at 1, so the thief does need some protection. But we have a healer, most of whose sides, I think this is over. This has just gotta be over, right? So we heal the thief, kill the spore, and I mean, choose your way of killing that Slimer. That was very smooth. Okay, so here we've got 2 classes I generally like. The Gladiator plays around the self-spikiness because the shield does kick in and help you avoid taking some of the damage. And then the Druid is a class I just really like a lot in general. 2 mana sides is fantastic. Now, the red heroes don't all have these types of attacks, so you might say, well, on the spiky thing, maybe you want to try to not have a red hero that attacks, but having cleanse is really nice, having the mana is really nice. This spell is really good in this particular fight. I think I'm just gonna take the Druid. All right, so on we go. We're looking to get 3 mana so that we can blast away all these illusions. And failing that, well, I don't know. We got 2 mana, there we go. We got the mana, great. Now this leaves just the slate, so any damage is fine. The issue though is that this Druid's dying, but I can just burst him to protect him, so that's fine. Yep, we're gonna go balance. Oh, actually, hold on, are you just dead here? Ah, you're just dead. Oh, that was a nice fight. All right, we got 2 interesting items here. The Dynamo adds single use and era to the 2 right sides. So your 2 right sides increase by 1 every round, but the catch is you can only use them 1 time each. And then the heat spell is actually incredible. You heal 3 and cleanse 3 to all allies who have a shield. So the trick is you need to make sure they have a shield. So like something like a cleave shield that lets you easily put a shield on 3 allies so you can mass heal cleanse them is effective. So we want to keep that in mind. Like the Bard, for example, would have been a good hero as well with the group shield. Group shields are, obviously I can't get the Bard because the armor is tier 2 and the Bard is tier 2, but just want to make sure then for your tier 3, try, if possible, try to take a gray hero with AoE shields. I think I'm gonna take it. The Dynamo with the 2 right sides, a lot of times people's right sides aren't that, are blanks, or even if they're not blanks, they aren't like that good of targets for that type of a deal. So I think just taking the heat, even if I never really end up using it effectively, is a good gamble. Okay, so here, I'm tempted to keep the shield for the Druid actually. Let's take a look at what's going on. If possible, what I would wanna do is overkill this Goblin by 2, and then both bandits run. That's the kind of situation I want to engineer. So I want to get him down to 1 HP, and then this Spore is actually really cool because it can take a 2 damage attack turn into a 3 damage, and a Goblin at 1 HP will then get overkilled by 2. So let's actually play this with the Myco, and that way, it grows. So I have an extra thing I could roll next turn that is a 2 damage attack that gets buffed to a 3. The Druid, I would want to roll to try to get mana, because after all, I'm keeping this for the Myco. There's the mana, so let's take a look at what's happening here. So we do that. This is a little awkward. Oh man, I am 1 damage off. If I could have gotten him down to 1, I could Spore and end the fight right now. Does the Armorer have damage? Yeah, the Armorer could roll one of these. That would buff this up to 3 and then Spore it up to 4, and then I do it. So I think it's worth going for. I just want to take a 1 in 3 chance of ending the fight right here. It actually happened. Unbelievable. All right, well, I think I was fine. It would have taken a little bit of finagling next turn, but Spore, I gotta say, it was pretty handy there. Pretty handy. All right, we got a Gambler. The Gambler was buffed. He now has a 3 damage side here instead of a 2 damage side. And then this, of course, goes really great with the fact that we need to do single damage high attacks to play around Spiky. Now the Sinew has this as well. So we've got 4 damage exert, 2 of these, which is quite strong. But this is not good because now that'll take damage against 3 enemies. So I think I'm gonna take Gambler here. I have good synergy for it. We have this to fix one of the blank sides. This is 3, and 3 is great. So now 3 of the sides are fine. A high probability of the time I will be getting a good side. In this fight, it takes a bit of trickery to actually use that clumsy axe, but I think I can manage it most of the time because I would like need to kill the Slimelet, for example, and then I could kill the Slime Queen. Do I keep this? This is actually not that impressive. It's just a damage. I think I'll roll for either the one that grows to be better in the future or one of my shields. I'm happy with anything here. So we'll do this just to kind of save some HP off of everybody. Beg your pardon, let me pause for a second. Okay, so here, let's kill off the Slimelet. Let's collect a bunch of mana. Pop the Slime Queen. And now, what? I need to spend some mana here. I think we're gonna just burst the Slimer. And we're gonna take the approach of just trying to kill the Slimer and then the Slime Queen. Unless I get a whole bunch of damage, and then I could try to burst the Slime Queen down from 8 HP. Wow, the Gambler serves it up again. So we're gonna be killing the Slime Queen. This is actually an incredible roll, because we could just hit the Slime Queen now. That's backwards, hold on a second. We hit the Slime Queen with this heavy side first, then we do this, and now, well, okay, everyone is kind of dying over here, but the Slime Queen is responsible for that, so once I kill her, she's fine. The real question is, do I wanna pop these little Slimelets and then hurt them with a balance? I could do one. I don't have enough mana to do the other. A burst here would actually not quite trigger this. So yeah, we'll do a balance here. That kills off the Slime Queen, everybody heals, and then we just end the turn. If I roll the heavy clumsy axe, I could do 3 damage here, and then just bash this Slimer's head in. We got 1 damage. I'm gonna be frisky. We're gonna roll for better than that. I think we can do it. There it is. Okay, that was amazing. Oh my god. All right, so we just kill this. We kill that, and then for style points, we spore that, do this, and we have just enough mana to burst the Slimelet. Reroll armor, no thanks. Happy with armor. All right, we got a good item here. The Jester Cap is fun, but we're gonna take Splitting Arrows, 1 damage range cleave. Amazing for a bunch of different reasons. First of all, it helps solidify the Gambler. It upgrades a blank, and then a single damage to a single range damage cleave. It now works great with the Armorer's Shield. That becomes a 2 damage cleave. I actually could put the growth on this so it grows every time it's used by itself. The issue is, where would I then put this hammer? I like the hammer here, covering up a blank. I don't want to cover anything else up. I mean, I could do this, but often with the Myco, I want to be getting mana. So yeah, I'll just keep that there. We'll do it like this. It's totally fine. And yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. So here, we're looking for shields to kill these militias. Always a balance in these fights. Do you go for shields or not? And all right, we have 3 shield with this line. I would need the Armorer, however, to roll this 4 shield, and he only has 1 of those sides. Actually, one of these armoring sides would work as well, because he could buff the shield with it. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but then I'm not getting this. So the Smith side provides a shield itself, so I could have done it if the Myco was being targeted, but not the Druid. So with the Druid, I could try to roll the shield side, but I think that's a little bit aggressive, just trying to get this. What I'll do instead is we'll just work on these bones, and if I happen to get the shield with the Armorer, great. If not, then fine. So let's roll again. The Gambler, unfortunately, okay, the Gambler whiffed. It would have been a blank anyway. I don't think I can reasonably do 3 damage to this militia and 3 damage to this one. I can actually come kind of close, but not quite. So the enemies don't all have the same HP, so that was a miss, unfortunately. And it's a bit of a tough start here. What I'm gonna have to do, I think, is actually pump this so the Druid doesn't die. No, hold on, that's a bit silly. Let's kill the Imp, right? Let's, hit him. Yeah, let's hit him here. Burst. That saves the Druid. Then you can beef that, protect the Armor as the least HP, and then pass the turn. A very underwhelming first turn. We got damaged pretty bad and only killed an Imp. But we have another chance to roll the dice and maybe, you know, shield away these militias. All right, there we go. That'll get rid of a militia. I just need 1 more shield. I'm gonna need mana for that. Just a single mana to spore this up is fine. I don't want to hit the militia, so I think we're just going to reroll here. Okay, I don't have any mana still. Well, we're going to take the 2 damage here. Do I want this 2 damage on a militia? No. Uh-oh. Well, we got a bit of trouble here. We got no mana, and now we can't actually quite save anybody. Well, we can save somebody, but we cannot make the militia run, which is really heartbreaking. I probably should have rolled. I should have rolled with the druid, try to get mana or shield. That may have been a mistake. All right, so what we're gonna do here is protect the gambler by killing the bones. We're gonna then bring back the hoarder, and then we're gonna protect the druid just raw with shields. So it was a bit of a tough start here. We missed 1 shield to make a militia run, which is sad, and we're really beat up. Even after being rescued, the hoarder is very damaged because he was brought back. Now, that's the best side, that's the best side. Yeah, I think this is fine. We can kill the bones, but that saves the armor, who doesn't need saving. Okay, let's just take a look at what's happening if I do it this way. So what I could do here is we could go after this militia. And then after this, we do a balance. And now the druid, yeah, I could kill the bones, but it doesn't, I don't want the druid to die, so we'll just burst to protect the druid. Very rough fight here. We did have somebody die, and we could never quite use the militia's drawback against them. At this point, the armorer could hit this militia, but then he'll die. But I could do this to spore it up. The problem is then this, no, I spore this. Okay, I think we're actually done here. I can spore this, that kills the bones, and then we just need to make sure that we shield the armor before we take a spiky damage and finish the militia off. Okay, so we've got the Brute or the Berserker. Berserker's got single target damage, but also a cleave, which is bad, and of course pain is bad when you're already taking hits, so we'll take the Brute, I think. Decent damage, some self-shielding, and a stun is pretty nice. The nice thing about the self-shield is it turns on heat for the Brute, in case I need that. All right, we're looking for a 3 damage side, and we want to spore it to one-shot the zombie. That's what we want. So I'm gonna reroll the armor to try to get that. The Brute's fine, but I wanna roll my druid and I might go for mana. All right, there's the mana. And we got kind of junk on the armor there, but that's okay. So we spore, which is turning out to be a pretty useful skill. One-shot the zombie. Zombies die if you hit them for 4 damage. And I think what I'm gonna do here is be a little bit greedy. We are going to balance to do 1 damage to each of these graves. And we're gonna whack that one. So we're gonna get 3 bones here, but when the bones die, they produce splash damage, and that's just gonna murder these graves. So I just need to come up with 4 damage twice, ideally, but even once is fine. So that's the best side of you. We'll take you for a spore. All right, Gambler's rolling blanks here. Anything is better than the blank? Okay, he rolls nothing but blanks. So what we're gonna do here, I think, is actually balance again. And now I can beef up this Brute and kill this bones to save the druid and knock out a grave. No one's dying, no one's even that hurt. There's only 1 grave left. So this fight's basically over because of the splash damage on these bones. It's just gonna murder everything. And I'm not even threatened with death. So it'll end up being a pretty easy fight. We're just gonna focus on only aggressive things here. Gambler finally shows up to the game. Thanks, Gambler, appreciate it. So we're gonna one-shot that bones. And yeah, these are very dead bones. Reroll Gambler? Nope, been happy with the Gambler. Okay, so we can get 2 HP when we save a hero. It's decent on the grays and reds, obviously. And then the Polished Emeralds, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 items get copied. Copying this doesn't do anything. You do not get an extra instance of the spell. We could give somebody else a Clumsy Hammer, which is marginal. And we can give someone else some Splitting Arrows, which is interesting. Gives more targets for the armor to shield. So I could replace this with a Clumsy, get rid of the stun, and have the Splitting Arrows. Or the Myco maybe replace this side with the Splitting Arrows and this dinky shield with a big whack that randomly pops up from time to time. Or a random 5 item or the Shimmering Halo. Man, that's a tough one. I'm tempted to take a random tier 5 item because some tier 5 items are pretty good, and I think what I'm getting from the emerald is pretty marginal. How sad would I feel if I don't get to put splitting arrows and big hammer on the Myco? Not that sad. And the shimmering halo is okay, but let's go ahead and take a random. We got monocle, which is fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. Engage to the middle side means it does double damage if the enemy has full HP, or you can do it on a shield and it will do double blocking if your ally has full HP. We'll do this here, this one-shot zombies. All in all, not great. I think I probably would have had the polished emerald, but I think I'm also okay with just not, so it's not a huge deal. All right, Gambler shows up right away, which is great. I can almost kill this Banshee, so I'm just gonna keep this because it's good enough. That is incredible. And yeah, there's no reason not to reroll. The armor has no blanks, so everything is safe. So we do 4 damage, and then do I Spore? I think so, because that ends the fight. That just completely ends the fight right here and now. Okay, I do love the Stoic. Now, does this fit the parameters of the game? Self-shield, so he does some damage and resist spiky damage. This would redirect all damage, including damage from spikiness. I lose my armor, which is sad. I lose the good synergy with growth on the rightmost side, which is sad. It's not that I don't like the Stoic, it's just that I do like the Armorer. I don't know if I like the Armorer enough to want to keep him the whole game and like skip my tier 3 gray. I'm also not getting a cleave shield here or any cleanse. Now the Warlock's a bit of a feisty pick. We get this awesome blaze spell and 4 pain mana. We also get this bloodlust mana and this weird side. All right, we'll take the Warlock. I'm not confident this is a good idea because the Spore has actually been pretty helpful. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. But all right, we can now put the splitting arrows here. So we're covering up 2 blanks, but I think it's actually a mistake. I think it is better to keep it on the Gambler. And the reason is that, yeah, like it replaces an extra blank, but say you roll this with the Warlock, do you really want to use it? You're trying to get the mana to pull off a blaze. So I think it kind of goes against what we're trying to do here. Okay, we're playing against the Rotten. Everybody loses 1 max HP, and he's summoning an imp. I can't use this right now. I will keep this. I think it's helpful. And I think I'll keep that too, because I want to kill these bones. My strategy for this fight is to knock out the bones. Perfect, perfect. And yeah, why don't you save yourself there? So we'll do that. And I can protect against this 4 damage, but even after 4 damage, you're still less damage than the Druid, although I will be able to kill these bones. Wait, what am I doing? What is wrong with me? No, I'm armoring that, right, and then I'm killing these bones. Yeah, oh God, Boris, what are you doing? All right, so now I think I will shield there, and what? Balance? I'm using 3 of the mana I might have tried to get a blaze with, but yeah, I think we'll balance. It does a little bit of damage around. I do want to finish off that bones, because now we have an imp to deal with. Luckily, the Rotten took some damage from this bone splashing. And, you know, the imps putting out a 4 damage thing isn't necessarily as bad as getting chomped for 6 or having cleave poison stuck out. I'm going to do this because that helps me power up a blaze. We'll keep the best side of you. That knocks out the imp. That's one of your best sides. But I'll re-roll the brute because I do want to try to hit the imps. All right, we got 2 blanks, which is a sad, 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 sad thing. But we can do you, knock you out, and then what? Do we blaze the Rotten? Just because we can? All right, it's a feisty move, but I'll do it. May have been a mistake. Now the Gambler needs to be protected before he can hit anybody, unless he does one of his ranged attacks, and the Rotten rolls an imp again. 3 damage I will settle for. This one-shot's an imp. That protects the Gambler. This hurts somebody for a little bit. And then we have that, which I can't actually use unless I do... Yeah, let's see what happens. So I do this. I don't quite have Blaze mana. But I do have this to kill the imp. I have... I balance. So now we can kill the Rotten. The problem is this bones is actually... Well, hold on. I do this. Oh, yeah, and then I kill the Rotten. Oh, it works out beautifully. All right, great. Tough one here. So we can get Trio to the damage side, so they double if you have if they have the same number of pips as the 2 previous dice you use. It's a little finicky, but if you have a lot of characters with the same number of pips, it can be good. Troll Blood, though, Region 2, that's really good. I'm not even gonna think about taking a random one. It just makes sense to have that because we have Spiky. So, you know, my melee character, who's literally always taking damage when he connects, now regens. I think that makes sense. Actually, there's also the Warlock, who takes 4 damage when he uses mana. Yeah, actually, I think that's even better. The Brute does have these self-shield sides. I think it actually makes more sense to put 2 regen on the guy who's getting 4 damage when he rolls a mana side. All right, the snipers are all ganging up on the Gambler, which is really annoying, because these two didn't even roll hit the weakest. They just randomly ass rolled the damage, and they just happened to pick the Gambler. Now the good news is I can kill the snakes. So I just need the Druid and the Warlock to contribute, and they do, so thank you guys. So that one-shots a snake, that kills a snake, and now what are we doing here? Well, crap. Actually, I'm 1 mana off this, and I just would have needed another mana to burst 2 of these. As it is, with 6 mana, I can't actually brute force save the Gambler in any way that I can imagine. Yeah, he's still dead. All right, well, in that case, I guess what I'm gonna do is just balance twice and let the Gambler die. Sometimes that's just what happens. So now the Gambler's damaged. All right, here I think we have a clear pick. I like the Fate, it's an interesting class, but we take the Stalwart. He has 3 different sides that help with the heat spell. He has Cleave, which is incredible, and he's got this Exert side at the end randomly doing damage. It's not the greatest for my little rightmost side has growth thing, but it's fine. Now, I could put rightmost side have growth on this. The problem is that I need to put this clumsy hammer on someone else. And I think I'm okay with that. I need to do that backwards. There we go. I think I'm okay with that. So right now I'm just not gonna use it. I could also replace the Brute side with it if I think it would make sense, but here we got 2 big enemies. It would be a little bit uncomfortable to roll this early and not be able to use it until I level their HP out, so we'll just leave that alone. But yeah. Now the Spiker does deal 2 damage every time you hit him, so it's gonna be 3 for my melee guys. Here, that's the best thing I can hope for. We take this damage. Do I do 5 damage? Is that what I want to do? There's a lot of damage coming out. Let's take a look at what I'm dealing with here. If I could roll 2 mana for the Druid, we can actually blaze kill the Spiker. And I've got decent chance of doing that. So yeah, I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna do this, and we're gonna try to get that mana. Stun? Yes, I could stun the Spiker. That would take 2 damage off of everybody. But if I rolled actual damage on him, then I could kill him. Let's see, he's got 13. This is 1 plus 5 is 6. Yeah, I could then stun him just with that. All right, we failed to roll the mana with the Druid, but because we got this weird 5 damage attack from the Stalwart, we can actually stun the Spiker to save 2 damage off of everybody, and then I'll just put this shield on my biggest guy. We are gonna just randomly burst here, and then pass. I like to go for the Spiker first, because the Troll regens and has more HP, so he takes longer to kill. I'd rather deal with the spikiness of the Spiker with this on hit for 2 up front, rather than putting it off and trying to do it later. All right, the Gambler does die if he hits the Spiker with this. But I think I'm okay with working around that because I can burst to save him, then finish the Spiker off with this attack, and then we got 4 damage on the Troll. And the Troll's not hitting the Gambler, so once the Spiker dies, everyone is safe. This is fine. Is it? Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't look fine, but it's actually fine. So we have to do this to save the Gambler, whack here, finish. Oh, I calculated wrong. I forgot the Druid took that massive hit from the Spiker crud muffins. All right. No, I'm doing it wrong. I killed the Spiker with the wrong character. It's supposed to be the Warlock hitting the Spiker. There we go. Everything's fine. Okay, so now we just do this. The Troll regens for 1, but we're all alive. Need to do 10 damage. Haven't been able to save mana from my Blaze, but if I do get lucky, like right there it is, we're done. 6 mana, 420, Blaze it. Okay, we got some interesting stuff here. Holy moly. So we got the Anvil Steel to the middle side. +1 pip for each shield I have. There is some synergy with this because I have a character 5 of whose sides are shield. So if I roll this, it is now a steal and engage. So if I get it early on, and let's say I put 4 shield on him, it's a damage 6 times 2 is 12. So it's one of those things where it would do a lot of damage to an enemy and potentially knock it out super fast. On the other hand, we have Sharp Wit, Mana gain signs are replaced with basic damage sides, retaining their keywords and triple their pips. Now this is not good with the Warlock because it does retain the pain keyword, so it would be 12 damage, but with pain, which is not great. But it's actually pretty good on the Druid. I'm okay with trading 2 mana for just a 6 damage side, and there are some tier 3 heroes that also have mana. Now you might say, well, but that means that you're triggering Spiky. But I think 6 damage is worth it. I'm gonna do this. There's a case to be made though for just having put it on the Brute and calling it a day, but this seems pretty strong. Now, especially in this fight where we're trying to overkill things to make the bandits flee. All right, so what I'm trying to do here, I think, is myrtleate this Caw Egg. Because if I can myrtleate this Caw Egg, I'll stop the Caw from spawning, which is obviously unacceptable, and it will also make this bandit flee, who is currently threatening the Warlock. This is the Warlock's best side. It can give a bunch of mana without having to take self-damage. I could keep this for safety. This is actually not helping with, none of the Brute sides help with my objective of the turn, which is to myrtleate this Caw Egg and make this bandit flee. Because the heavy sides cannot hit the bandit, and this side would kill the Caw without making the bandit run, although there's this. All right, fine, I'll roll that. And I'm gonna reroll you as well, because the 6 damage sides would just fix my problem entirely. Now you, there's no poison or anything. I will just keep 2 shields twice. Okay, this is uncomfortable. I'm gonna roll again. We just could not get it together here. Oh man, that ends up being a pretty crappy turn. So what happens is now I have to stop the Caw from summoning. So we do that, but you know, actually I forgot, this goes up to 5 mana. Yes, there is no way though. There's just no way that I can trigger this bandit to flee. So we're gonna balance. And then that lets me kill off the Caw Egg. The Warlock is still threatened. I'll shield him once and I'll shield the Brute once. And then we're gonna pass. Okay, so the next plan here is to try to myrtleate the Blind and make both bandits on either side flee. Unfortunately, the Caw Egg did roll one of the 3 Caw sides. So I have to watch for that. Okay, this is good. That's very good. I can actually do it now. The issue is then I'm leaving the Caw Egg alone. But I'm gonna roll this. I only need a little bit of damage to finish off that Caw Egg. And this will do. This will do nicely. Okay, so I think there might be a better way, but we're just gonna do some satisficing. I do that. Then this will make both bandits on either side flee. And then we can shield the Warlock, do this. Oh, and then blaze the Caw Egg to make the bandit run. Ah, there we go. Satisficing indeed. All right, we've got Bash. This may be good. I gotta think about this. So if I take the Shaman, I actually, do I get to keep the mana gain side? Oh no, it's replace mana gain sides. Okay, so if you replace a side with mana gain, it does not keep mana gain. So I would just have a 1/6 damage side, this spell, which is really nice, and then some damage and some big heals. Or the Bash, which is just like a bigger Brute. Got this big damage exhaust, and then these 5 that are heavy. Not the best in this fight, because the Basalt, you really want to knock out these Quartzes first. Okay, we'll take the Bash. It's similar to the Brute, and the Engage side here is pretty strong, because if I put shields on it, it just goes stupid damage. And then I don't have to worry about putting this on anybody, because he has a 5 damage without any, 5 damage heavy without the Eliminate, which is obviously strong. All right, so Basalt is doing the Inflict Death here on my Gambler. I could cleanse it and save him, so I'm gonna just do that. That's fine. Now the question is, do I keep 3 damage? 3 damage plus a burst here will kill a Quartz and stop the Stalwart from getting weakened or the Warlock from getting weakened. I think I'm gonna keep that damage just to be safe, but I will reroll the Bash. I would like to stun the Quartz that I'm not killing, but this doesn't do anything because I already have a cleanse. And I'm killing one of the Quartzes, so I will reroll that because that side's useless. And we got that, which is not great, but it's fine. So we do this, we get 3 mana, we finish off that Quartz, the Stalwart is saved, the Gambler is saved, the Quartz is stunned, and I think I'm pretty happy with that turn. So we killed off a Quartz, 1 person took 4 damage, we're fine with it. So I'd love to get the Cleanse Shield again, doesn't happen. We get the best side from you, I can stun the Quartz again, but I don't want to stun it That's done stupid, because I can just kill the quartz. I think that's fine. Now, I am passing on the opportunity to roll the cleanse shield when I do that, so maybe I don't do it that way. This plus that does not kill a quartz. Yeah, I want to roll, I think, all of these dice. Okay, we got the good thing. This starts the chip party. This continues the chip party. And then this is what? Just 5 damage on the basalt, and we're saying the quartz gets to live. Maybe I should have kept the stun side. Actually, I could do 1 damage to the quartz, 2 damage, and then burst to kill it. And then, yeah, we just get the basalt. All right, I like this plan. So we do that. I don't start the chipping just yet. What we actually do is just this. And then we whack for 5. And I could have blazed them to do the chip, but there's no reason to do it now. I can just do that next turn. All right, now the basalt's doing the same attack. I'm glad he's doing that. That's not as bad as these, which weaken the top and bottom, or these which summon the slates. So I'm completely happy with what he's choosing to roll. This is great. This is great. Well, kinda. This is good, but the gambler also can turn on chip, and I'd rather the druid either do 6 damage or find a way to protect himself from dying. This doesn't quite save him. 5 damage is the best I could hope for here, so we'll re-roll both of those. All right, perfect. Cleanse again. I got lucky-ish. I got these both times. Remember, you do have a 19 out of 27 chance of getting a side if there's 2 sides that you really want. So it's not that crazy that I got it 3 times, but, you know, it could have easily not happened any of those times. So we save the druid, do this. So we chip, then chip. I don't have a way to chip at 4, unfortunately, but we'll just burst again and do 5. And only 11 damage now. I've got a lot of big attacks, so I think I'm okay with it. I think there's a good chance I can kill it before he summons the slate. Okay, so this is 3. That lets the gambler do an attack. I don't want to do this crappy little thing. I'll roll for something better. Okay, I think we get there. So we do that, and we're done. Oh my god, I do love both of these items. So we got Deadly Bolt after using an ability, 1 damage to the topmost enemy. It's really sick. So it definitely makes me want the Witch, because is it the Witch? I think it's the Witch. She has the 1 mana ability that heals 2, and then it turns into a heal 2, deal 1 damage to the top. It's just ridiculous. But then this is also good. +1 pip to all sides if equipped to a yellow hero. So the bash just gets +1 to everything, but his sides are already pretty big. +1 isn't actually proportionally that significant. We're gonna take the fun thing, we're gonna do the Deadly Bolt. So we'll just stick it on somebody. And now if I kill this top wisp, I can snipe the sniper. Oh my god, but these shades and these snipers, so this, it's so annoying. This sniper did not have a side that's target weakest hero, but just randomly rolled the stalwart, and then the other 2 snipers and the shades ganged up hard. Luckily, this kills the shade, this kills the wisp. Now this, there's 1 more wisp, so the snipers are not exposed. They're not exposed because they are hidden behind this wisp that I haven't quite killed yet. But let's take a look. I mean, I can just save the stalwart with this because the shade is doing 4, as long as I can kill that sniper. Can I? So wisp is dead, shade is dead. I do 1 damage to the sniper. Say I balance, and I do another damage and it dies to the Deadly Bolt. All right, we'll try it. Warlock needs mana. That's not mana. That is mana. All right, so this is a really good situation. We do this. It's very important to be precise. You have to do it right here so that you don't trigger the immunity of the shade. Then you get 5 mana. Then you kill, hang on a second. You kill the shade with this, because that's a heavy side. Then you kill the wisp with this. Then you balance, and that sniper dies. Oh my god, then you balance and that sniper dies. And then you just do that. And you just have a 1 HP sniper who's gonna die to any ability and a wisp and a bones. There may have been some way to optimize that to not have the bones, but it really didn't make any difference. Wow, you are so dead. There's just a gajillion ways to finish this off now. That was nice. Okay, Sharp Shot. Oh man, this is a heartbreaker. This is a heartbreaker. So Sharp Shot is all ranged, so it's really good in the case that you're playing with Spiky. No question about it. But we do have the Witch right here. Is this possibly correct to actually not take the Sharp Shot? There are so many bad orange heroes, like the agent that has the quad use single damage, which is obviously unplayable with Spiky. Or, what are the other tier 3s? Oh, God, I don't remember. All I can think of is the agent. This is the one that I wanted. So, God, I have to choose between something that really synergizes with my item or something that synergizes with the thing that we're dealing with right now. Oh, man. I'm going to take the sharp shot. As painful as it is, I think you just got to do this. So what we're going to do here is think about whether to put the splitting arrows. This is a good side. The copycat has some pretty nice synergy, so it can copy steal and engage, which is really strong. It can also copy exert, which is not. It can copy growth. It can copy double use. It can copy cleave. I don't think I want to do this, even though this is a neat synergy and all. I think I'm just gonna not use it. The only way I could maybe consider it is actually right here. I could get rid of this heal cleanse. Say, well, okay, we've got cleanse from these two shields. How much cleanse does the man need? We could have the druid become more of a damager. The problem is then I don't have enough room to actually put the growth thing on. So I'm not actually sure that really makes that big of a difference. I might as well just put it on the warlock and have a failsafe in case the warlock whiffs. And then this, I think, is past its time. Yeah, there's just no point. Okay. God, that was brutal. Maybe I should have taken the witch. Maybe I should have been like, hey, anytime you get a mana, that's a damage. Every single, like, 2 mana side is 2 damage to the top enemy, and I should have just gone for it. All right, so against these fanatics, I'm really just trying to mostly survive. This will protect these two. I do need some help protecting the warlock. Do I want to keep this? Nah, I think I want to try to roll for either the stun or for maybe that. The druid, I do not want a 2 damage growth. That's really a weak side. And they both roll blanks. Ugh, okay, so this kind of sucks. So what we're gonna do here is that, hold on, nope. I need to damage somebody first. Let's damage you. Bump this up to 3, and then that. It is not a good turn. Obviously with 2 characters rolling blanks. I could have kept a 7 damage thing here, but then he would have been exerted. Yeah, you know, I'm okay with it. So with the fanatics, you just want to survive, let them kill themselves if you can. This is a lot of damage to survive though, but that one-shots somebody. With this to save the warlock, I can use this mana, and then the bash, I'll take anything that's not a blank. Okay, fine, that's not a blank. So the warlock is the one who's the most in trouble because of the spiker. Maybe actually I should not be using this, because how exactly do I save him from the 7 incoming damage? That's quite the puzzle. I mean, I could do something crazy like go after the spiker. Well, the problem is I cannot save both the sharp shot and the stalwart if I do that. But what I could do is put one of these shields on the stalwart. The warlock can still do his mana. Since the spiker died, the warlock's now fine. Now, do I have enough ways of dealing with the situation? Well, if I kill the fanatic, then I can balance to heal the stalwart, and they both die and none of my people die. All right, well, that was messy, but it worked, so let's just do that. And we got the Emerald Mirror and a Charged Hammer. 2 great items. I think it's probably going to be the Charged Hammer, honestly, but let's just take a quick look at what my 6, 7, and 8 items are. We have, that's a tier 5. We have Troll Blood, Regen 2, Sharp Wit, which is interesting. That would mean I'd want to put this somewhere else and put it on... Oh, the Warlock is tier 3. Oh, right. But I've been thinking this was a tier 2 this whole time. So yeah, we're stuck. We're not doing Sharp Wit on the Warlock. That limits the value of that. And then just in case, another Deadly Bolt. Oh my God, I should have done the Druid. Oh man, or the Witch, and had the 1 mana spell here. That would do 2 damage to the topmost enemy. Every single mana turns into 2 damage against the topmost enemy and attached to a heal too. Oh God, oh Jesus. But you know what, we're just gonna take the Charged Hammer because, I mean, it's 10 damage. So yeah, we're gonna, I think we're gonna replace the Druids. I hate that 2 damage side so much because these are so much better. It feels sucky keeping a 2 damage side. So we're gonna have the Druid be our whacker. And off we go. Now the Hydra is confounding things a bit because I can't use the Charged Hammer to one-shot these the Banshee or the Chomp until the Hydra goes down. So the question is, what are we going to do here? Well, obviously the Warlock's not getting attacked, so take 4 mana. That's good. This is fine. I can actually kill the Banshee to stop the Bash from getting super weakened. And I could, like, keep these 2 sides just to save the Sharp Shot. But I have the mana to save the Sharp Shot as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll keep this, but I'm going to roll the Druid to try to get 6 damage. Or hell, I'll even take 10 damage on the Hydra. There we go, 6 damage, totally fine. So now, what's the move? It's this and that to kill the Banshee. And now we need to save the Sharp Shot. Now there's an interesting thing to keep in mind, which is that the Hydra takes a damage now from the Deadly Bolt. So if I do like this, I think that's 2 damage, 2 more times, and then this should kill it? Yeah. Little interaction there. So the way that worked is the Hydra, just so we're clear, if you take damage 5 times in a turn, then you die. And then we have this thing, deal a damage after an ability is used to the topmost enemy. So I had to kill the topmost enemy so the Hydra would be the target of that. When I burst it, it takes 2 from the burst and 1 from that. I burst it twice, it took damage on 4 separate instances. This is therefore the 5th instance. And then that's the Bash. That's the skill in the game. You gotta catch things like that. Otherwise, you drag out fights that are unnecessarily complicated. We're done. So this does that, and the Sharp Shot survives, and now we just do this, and that does not do damage, it just kills it. So that is safe. We got Hexia, which is an interesting one in this particular setup because she deals damage already to the attacker, but luckily I have the Sharp Shot, and no one else is really hitting her except for, I guess, the Druid. But we are about to get a level up. But so yeah, no one's really hitting her except for the Bash. So that is not a big deal. And then we're not using that many abilities because we're playing with Sharp Wit. So we're going to try to knock out the Imps early, isolate her, and hopefully get some big whacks on her and let her die. But let's see, who are we getting for red? So we've got the Doctor, which is a 3 mana. This is a 4 mana. So tragically, I'm not getting great synergy with the thing, but then again, I wouldn't have necessarily wanted to go off with that anyway, because every time you cast a spell, the bottom hero gets damage equal to the spell's cost. Okay, so what exactly are we doing here? So the Prophet and the Doctor have 2 of these sides, so let's just not consider that at all. The Prophet has this, but this is not great because it damages the bottom hero for 4 when you cast it. So it's a little tough. The Warlock does have regen, so I could do that, but it's still not going to be, like, amazing. This would heal somebody, potentially save somebody, cleanse them, if they got this ability on them. Or if she petrifies them for a bunch. I think that's got to be the move. This side is kind of junk. I don't think I'm ever going to use that. But 2 regen is cool, 2 mana is cool, blank sucks, and then we got a big heal. So let's do that. And actually, right, we can get rid of the side that we said sucks. And we can also replace those 2 mana heal 2 with just 6 damage. I think that is important because that knocks out the Imps, and I do want those Imps knocked out. I think that's the way to go. At least for me, that's how I've had the best success against Hexia, is knocking out the Imps, and then after the Imps are gone, just dealing with her attacks and slowly whittling her down. All right, so this is fine, but it doesn't kill an Imp. And then the other damage is a little tough to come by. I don't really have good, like, you know, damage unless I use an ability and it's the top Imp. But I really need to kill this bottom Imp because it is doing 8 damage to my Warlock, and that's pretty much how I'm going to save my Warlock, is by killing that Imp. So I think I'm going to roll. I'm going to hate it if I end up rolling the blank twice in a row. It's too early for this. Since I'm in dire straits, I don't think I want to do this side, and I don't want to hit Hexia. So we're going to re-roll with everybody, actually. Okay, so now we've got Charged Hammer. That is good later. It's not good right now, because I don't want to take 10 damage and die. So we're going to get 2 free mana here. Now I feel a little bit unsafe rolling. I am going to let the Stalwart get exerted to make sure that an Imp dies, and then these are both heavy. So I don't want to hit Hexia with them, and then we got this. Okay, that is good. So what happens here is I can now kill the Imp and just take a single pair of damage. Now everybody's safe. At this point, I want to work on the other Imps. So what I'm going to do is hit this one for 3 damage, get... I'm going to do this. I'm going to take 5 damage with the Bash, 6 actually, to hurt Hexia. Now we have 4 mana here, and with that 4 mana, I'm going to burst whichever Imp I don't kill. Oh, I forgot about the mana burn. Can I do this? No, I can't save you. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say I want to use the burst to like pop that thing off with my little ray. As it is, what I think I'm gonna do is just kill this imp. So this imp was targeting the warlock with 1 poison, but I actually want the warlock to have 2 regen. I'm willing to have the stalwart have less regen. Oh, wait a minute. I killed that one that was hitting the warlock. Now I can burst. Ha! The warlock survives. Great. Okay. So we are done. Now the warlock did get petrified. That is a problem. So the warlock is now super petrified. However, I can maybe find cleanse with the stalwart, who is he is stunned here. That's the problem. Okay, that'll kill the imp off. I can't stun. I don't have enough HP. Oh man, this is a bad situation. The doctor cannot generate mana. I am 1 mana shy of being able to liquor away, or for that matter, heat away, the warlock's petrification. Oh, crap. And now the doctor's gonna get big petrified. Okay, we are just rolling. We're hard rolling for these cleanses, because we gotta get the petrification off. It's a little bit scary if I don't get the cleanses, I have to say. All right, that's one of your usable sides. I'm just gonna do it. I need to get the cleanse on you. Didn't happen. Okay. Do I keep this? It's 2 damage. I can try to get a 3rd damage. I think I'm fine. We're gonna still try to get cleanse. Oh my god, we actually got a cleanse. All right, so what we need to do here is cleanse off the doctor. No, it doesn't work. We need to cleanse off you. And I cannot actually save the doctor. Shoot, I should have rolled to try to get a mana side with the warlock. Because if I had mana, I could have then cleansed this doctor and saved him. As it is, we're in kind of a weird spot where I can cleanse the doctor, but he's still dead. And if I burst to save him, then the warlock takes damage and is gonna die. Shoot, this is a bad situation. I might have lost the game here, unfortunately, with my sharp wit and my not rolling for mana on the warlock here. Yeah, it kind of sucks. What I think I'm gonna do here, can I try to do some shenanigans with steel like that? But he doesn't have any shields. All right, I'm losing the doctor. So it's a little bit of a problem. I do have some recompense. My warlock has a bunch of regen, which is good. But we have a little bit of a problem. Getting Hexia down is gonna be tough. I think I might suicide the bash this time and just hope for the best. So we're going to protect the sharp shot so the sharp shot doesn't have pain. We're gonna whack Hexia for a lot of damage. She's at 4 HP. The sharp shot just needs to deliver 3. And then if I can do 1 more from anybody in any way, anyhow, then we're fine. I am going to save the sharp shot, just in case the sharp shot rolls blanks 3 times in a row, which almost actually happened. That would have been hysterical, but we just barely get there. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Take care.